it's funny because I was talking to my last guest and I started to talk about pizza, and I said, well, but there's a story I always tell. I said, but I'm not going to tell you now because I've already told that 2 or 3 times on camera, and I proceeded to tell it anyway. So now I'm thinking I'm going to have little captions I'm going to put up on little text messages. It'll be on the video. Like, oh, here he goes again.
And you have somebody just go...
I'll have have a little animated cartoon figure on there, kind of like that stupid little paper clip from Microsoft's.
The wiggly paper clip.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, can you be more condescending to your users?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, we're not all children. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're trying to use a computer to write with,
you really can use a computer to write with now. You just tell it, bam. That's crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I probably spent an hour today correcting artificial intelligence.
It's not that great. I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's definitely artificial.
Yeah, it's definitely artificial.
But what's funny is that if you don't know the answers to what you're looking for already,
right,
you just accept what it says because it says it so well.
Boy, I haven't used it that much, but I guarantee you that yes, I read that and I went, this doesn't know. It's just written really well.
Right. But today I was asking it with work some rather easily verifiable facts. And it gave me the wrong answers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
And no.
Can you try that again? Because actually what I said was, can you provide me a link to the documentation for that? Yes, sir. Here it is.
Get out.
And I go follow the link and I'm like, you told me to go to section 4.5. There is no section 4.5 in that document. Oh, you're right. That's a good catch.
No way.
Yes.
That is insane.
So I'm like, you're lying to me. You're useless. Well, you're right to assess that. I hope to do better next time. I'm like, there isn't going to be a next time because your credibility is shot.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, the only thing I've ever used it for, I've only used it maybe 3 times, but of those 3 times, I wanted something written a little bit more professionally, so I stuck in my own little stuff in there. And it rewrote it a little bit. One time, though, didn't change it at all. I was like, hell yeah, baby.
Well, so, you could imagine AI could take this conversation, transcribe it.
And
unless you go back and listen to it, how accurate is that transcription?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't say those words. Well, here it is in the transcription, Mr. Pardis. Really? Worse yet, can you then translate that to Italian? And now you have no clue. Although, people are falling down.
That would be fun. Yeah, you start playing in Italian, everybody's just rolling.
That'd be interesting. I should splice some of that in.
Yeah.
That would be
hilarious.
You get your Ricardo Montalban voice going on.
And everybody's cracking
your
up.
James Earl Jones tone.
Yeah, that's it. Boy, talk about a James Earl Jones tone. I just interviewed this kid, really. I mean, he's kind of out there between high school and deciding whether he really even wants to go to college.
So he's our age.
Yes. But, I mean, he's like that big and like that tall, And, hey, how you doing, man? I'm Hop, Hi, how you doing, man? I'm James, I'm like,
why are you not singing with the...
That's exactly what I did. Like 3/4 of the way through the interview, I said, I just got to know why you're here and not singing somewhere.
Do the Oakwood boys not have room for you? Right. You waiting for somebody to die?
No doubt, man. I was like, low.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could get that one.
Yeah, it's... I have to have a cold. If I have a cold, I drop down about 2 octaves.
Absolutely.
For a couple of weeks.
I try to keep a cold sometimes.
The ladies are like, who are you? Where's Alan? But we don't care about him for another couple of weeks. Can you can you stick around
for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, so who does have the best pizza in town?
Well,
It wasn't meant to be that difficult of a question.
well, you see, I'm a pizza freak. I just love it. Every pizza. I've not had a bad pizza, not one that I would toss over my shoulder and I'd eat. I don't think.
Really?
I don't think so.
Do you remember Cardoni's? I
never
hope
ate
that
there.
Mr. Cardoni's not listening because I don't want to offend anybody. But that wasn't great pizza.
Well,
But that said, it wasn't bad pizza. We did order it.
there
We
you
did
go.
eat it. So
And
yeah,
you did
you're
eat
making
it.
it. Yes,
that's right.
You're making
It
a
just
good point
wasn't.
there.
It just wasn't meeting your expectations. So.
Well, it's kind of like I say about whiskey. There's no bad whiskeys. Depending on the time of day, morning, noon, night, there's a place for everything.
You're darn right.
8 o'clock in the morning after a long night of drinking, I don't care what the pizza is, it tastes great.
Absolutely.
And it's less filling.
It's less filling. Yeah, I'm not even sure they're there anymore, but there used to be an old pizza place across. The only eat-in area they had was about this big. There were 2 or 3 tables, a few chairs. But what's the, if you turn on number 6, the left, it's on the right there. The breakfast place, they have a great breakfast.
Cavacci's. Used to be Cavacci's.
Right. So it was Cavacci's
And they
pizza.
moved over to Lake Drive, just kind of across from KFC and...
Yeah, Moe's.
Right.
Right.
Next door to,
I
what is it,
used to-
Carolina Wings or something over there?
I love their pizza. But I have not eaten at Nikki's enough to know that they're great. Everybody says Nikki's is good. I am kind of finicky. I don't eat Pizza Hut anymore.
I used to like their pan pizzas.
I did used to. I'm just like that. In the past, I loved them, but no.
Yeah, it's...
That's when I was a child and didn't know any better.
Well, I mean, perhaps. I mean, that said, I will say some of the best pizza I've had... Well, I always liked Fridays. Fridays had a little deep dish that served for lunch.
Yeah.
But I always loved to go get that. I don't know what it was about the crust, but there was something in that really bready crust that was good.
Lots of butter.
And wasn't there was a place here in town. It's not there anymore now. I think it's a car parts place over near...
Yeah, it was
14 Karat.
Chicago.
Yeah.
style
That's what it was.
pizza.
That's what I'm thinking of. Not Fridays. Although Fridays used to have a little thing like that.
Right.
But Uno Pizzeria.
Uno's, that's what it was. That was really good, but the problem was, with that deep dish pizza, held a lot of grease. I couldn't eat a whole lot of it.
Greece is a food group, man. Don't you remember seeing that on the pyramid?
I know. It's definitely on my pyramid.
It may not be at the top of the pyramid. It's certainly
it's
not
in
the
there.
base, but it's...
I don't know what's getting there.
Yeah. So I've had some Chicago deep dish in Chicago that was... Man, it was... Holy crap, that was some filling stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what killed it for me. You go in there and eat 2 pieces of pizza and you're done. I was done.
Right. Somebody's got to get a wheelbarrow and cart you out of there. So yeah, it has been interesting. What was the place? Antonina's. That's the one I was trying to think of the other day. Antonina's out next to the high school.
Yeah.
Years ago, they had a really, really good pizza.
I only went there a time or two, but you're right, they were good.
So even though you come into this town maybe 20 years ago, which is when I came here, and you're like, well, it's slim pickings. You got your chains, your Domino's, your Papa John's, your what are the other fast food ones? I forget now, but Pizza Hut, of course, and then Cardoni's was okay. You got a local Cardoni's, which was just down the road from me, so we often went there. But then I also the Pizza Time over here at the old mill, where the Creekside restaurant is now. That used to be a pizza buffet.
Really?
Pizza Time.
I didn't even know that.
And they had video games, arcade-like video games in there.
You're kidding.
They had a huge air hockey table. Used to
No
go in there
idea,
with
man.
my daughter and her friends and whatnot. We'd go in there. Pizza was nothing to write home about, but it was fun. Video games. They had like a snowmobile ride racing. Two of you could get on the
Sure,
snowmobile. It
sure,
was a
sure.
racing
Yeah.
arcade game. Oh, we used to have a ball going over there. Man, I miss that.
I had no idea. I can't believe it.
Creekside is good, but it's not. It's not pizza time. I mean, if they put the arcade games back in there,
We could rock.
and now half that space is taken up with the watershed now, though too. So it doesn't.
Watershed.
The Watershed Fellowship. You don't know the Watershed?
Sorry.
Sorry, Kevin. Al's Down Under guest number 1, Kevin Thumpston, is a church planter. He planted the Watershed Fellowship over in the basement over there at the old mill. It's become a rather popular church.
See, I just come right around the corner and go right to the beer place.
Yeah, it sits there between Creekside and Hazelwood.
Right. And Hazelwood.
Yeah,
That place.
you have to do that in order
I
to
know,
think
I know,
well.
you get it. Yeah.
And it's like, how do you have Hazelwood down here and the brew pub up here?
And they're both killing it.
Yeah, well, first of all, beer.
Yes, it's
I know while
beer.
we're drinking a bourbon-based cocktail, but still, beer.
Beer.
But yeah, I mean, it's amazing that they're both doing that well. Although okay, here's the connection. The brewmaster for the brew pub runs Hazelwood. So there was
I
only
did not know that.
Yeah, there were only certain beers that the brew pub wanted, but this guy wanted to do some more experimentation.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I want to do different things. So he's like, well, I'll just expand and I'll have a little, just a little spot down here you can get a beer. You used to not even be able to get food there.
That's
In fact,
right.
I don't think, do they have food at all now?
They do now. We went there last weekend for the first time to have the food they served there. Because we called to see what food truck was there, right? No food truck. But they said, we have food in our kitchen. I went, what?
You have a kitchen? Is it just a microwave?
A microwave. That's their kitchen.
I have a microwave in my kitchen.
Right? Me too.
I make steak in an air fryer.
Hey, there you go. But yeah, it was pretty good. I had some kind of burnt end sandwich. It was really good, I thought. I mean, for places cooking in a microwave.
Yeah,
it
but
was
I mean,
good.
when they started out over there,
Yeah,
the
you
beer
didn't
was
have
good. Their beer has always been good, and it's worth going over to get. The space is nice.
Right.
It's casual.
But that's what they needed, some kind of food.
Right.
Instead of a can of tuna and some chips. I got that one time.
There's a reason that they said, "Hey, call up to Keg Cowboy," because I used to work with Keg Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
You go in there and you could basically order out from Keg Cowboy and get it delivered down here to the brew pub, or not brew pub, Hazelwood.
Yeah. Hazelwood.
So they've gone from that to food trucks to something in an oven.
Something. Yeah, but it was pretty good. I forgot what Bridget got, but that too was good. A little pricey, but hey.
All right. So what's your favorite little hangout? Your beer bar restaurant kind of hangout?
Yes.
Well, not Al's Down Under notwithstanding.
Well, if I can't be at Al's, I'm probably going to be at the Keg. Yeah. That's my cheers. Go in there and everybody knows my name, I just walk by, as I'm walking through, and all of a sudden
Something shows up. You're like, well,
in my hand,
whatever
right?
it is,
I'm drinking
gonna
because
enjoy
it's
it.
going to be good. That's right. They know what I like, so they stick it in my hand. So, yeah.
So
Okay.
it turns out it's not necessarily about the food and drink. It's
No.
about the comfort. It's about the familiarity.
It's all of the above. I do like the food. I mean, Brian said, the guy that owns it, he said he never really thought of himself as a baker, but God, he makes bread all the time. He just does this great bread. But all the bread there for all the sandwiches and everything, you know, he makes the bread. It's right there all the time, fresh. Yeah, what bar can you go and have duck confit? You know, I mean,
Spell that.
DUCK. Duck with feet. Never thought about that before. I was like, darn.
I know, I'm pushing things. You're from 20 miles that way. So.
Right. CONFEIT. There you go.
I wonder what that actually means.
Yeah.
Confit?
To me, if it was FEET, I think duck with feet.
Well, there are duckwits.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the local government, I think we've got a couple. Duckworth.
Duckworth, yeah. I think so. Something like that.
I think the town administrator was Duckworth.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I should be careful.
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna. It's a small town.
Small town.
Everybody knows everybody in here.
Right. Yeah, it's freaky.
So, you know, Mr. Keg,
Mr. K.
Brian, he's from my world.
Yes, sir.
Tristan, who was...
That's why
that
he
you've
makes
met
such
there,
a great...
is also from that
know.
area of the world.
Right.
It's almost like the cool people.
Came down here to be with the rest of the cool people.
We knew where to go. All right, touche. I'll give you that one. So, yeah, but there's getting to be a lot of interesting places to go to. This is not the same town it was.
No, that's why I'm still here. You know, I'm like I said, I'm only from 20 miles that way.
Right,
know?
but from a long time ago. Well, I mean, not that long ago, because, of course, we're not as old as we appear.
Indeed. Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, I really like it.
How much has changed? I mean, did you ever, when you were growing up?
It's a stupid amount of change that's happened here. Batesburg, Leesville is really, really trying to change, but it's just so hard to pull some little towns out of it. But Lexington, there was a time Main Street was kind of fading away, and I don't know how they did it. I think attracting people like Brian and helping Matt get started with, O'Hara's and...
O'Hara's.
Yeah.
Just for those who are waiting to figure out what...
So to say O'Malley's. And...
It'd be funny if Matt O'Malley started O'Hara's.
You're right. No, I think they've done well in attracting business, restaurants, and particularly the bars. I mean, even when I was in Batesburg, we'd drive all the way to Columbia to have a good time, you know. And driving from Batesburg to get old, you know. But we moved to Lexington just because didn't want to stay in Batesburg, but I didn't want to be in downtown Columbia either. But, you know, now I just take a right turn out of our neighborhood and find a place to park. And I'll walk into the bar and just hold my hand out, you know.
Well...
And it's good. It's a good thing.
It is.
Oh, my God. And the parks. Let me tell you, man, that Virginia Hilton Park.
All right.
They did behind there. They've got the park.
I mean, I don't mean to be redundant, but they hit it out of the park.
They did hit it out of the park 3 times. What I think would be just super cool. And I used to be the chairman of the board of this group that was called the Lexington Greenways Alliance.
You might have even had a bike tour that you did.
Yeah, for that particular thing. I forgot you knew about that. But anyway, I think it would be just super cool to connect these 3. And I gotta believe that's...
I can't believe they're not. So
no, right?
A couple of weeks ago, I was over there with a friend of mine, and we were walking the loop around the old mill pond.
Right.
And like, you know, but isn't there like a coffee house over here you should be able to kind of get to or whatever?
And lo and behold.
Well, so we're like, okay, we think it's over here. So, you know, we step off and we're, 10 feet later, you're on South Lake Drive. And we
10 feet
thought
later,
it was,
you're on the...
Well, but we thought the coffee house was
Was the
this
wrong
way.
way.
We went the wrong way. But we're like, you're only a few hundred yards away from
Yeah.
Virginia Hilton at that point.
That's right.
So we walked up the street, walked across Lakeview or Lake Drive, walked into Virginia Hilton. And I maybe have been in there once before, but it was 10, 15 years ago.
And they have put a lot of money into
Oh my
that,
gosh.
and it is beautiful.
It was, I'm like, it's not that far of a walk when it turns out from here to the old mill is really maybe 2 miles.
If that. Like you said.
So you could walk up from here. You could walk up to the old mill, do a loop around the pond,
Yeah.
walk from there over to Virginia Hilton. All of it breaks up. It's easy to do. It's not like you're like, oh my God, this is a strenuous walk.
That's right.
Before you know it, you've walked 6-7 miles. And it's been in a nice setting.
Oh yeah, the whole time. I'm just.
You don't
really-
realize how close things are together because, well, it's a small town. But, even from that, though, I think Gibson Pond is maybe even closer to Virginia Hilton than the old mill is.
Yep.
And you can easily see where I'm like, the old mill's right there. You could just make a path up here.
Exactly.
Now, maybe you don't want people crossing the road. I don't know. Are you going to tunnel under it? Maybe they would do that. That seems a little excessive.
Bridge over it. They have a park in Sumter where it's divided by a road. They just built a big bridge over the road. It's a nice walk over the road, and you get to the other end of the park. You walk around. I mean, I am really proud of the way Lexington has recreated itself, because it is a recreation, man. It was kind of stodgy, dusty and dying away, but these guys have breathed new life into it, and it's great. I don't really miss going to Columbia, unless I'm going to the Koger Center, because we don't have a Koger Center.
Right.
But we do have the Ice House, and I'm gonna tell you what, that's really freaking great. It really is, because they bring good bands in. Sometimes you'll have a big name or two, but it doesn't matter if it's a big name or not. The Thursday night concerts are free, and those guys that play are really good.
And in the end, it's like, let's say you've got a 7 out of a 10 performer.
It's going to be a 10.
Does it really need a 10?
But he's going to be.
Are you going to have a good
he
10?
Or they, yeah, they're
Right.
going to be. It's a 10 good time,
Right. It's at that point, it's like they're there. It's up to you now to actually make it worth your time and go, hey, this is really kind of good.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this. And I think half of that is the setting.
Sure it is. Sure it is. And again, you go and you see people and you
Right.
and you have a good time. Brian's there with his beer truck. But it works.
Sometimes the variety is not quite what it. There's a lot of people getting a Bud Light.
Whatever. People got to be who people got to be, right?
Well, to each his own. It works. Far
Not
be
for
it
me,
from me to.
Say what works for somebody else, right?
Yeah. No, I think I know for me, as I say, we've been here about 20 years now, but it's a wholly different world here today.
No,
One of the nice things when we came here, I remember we talked to friends because we moved here from South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything is in South Florida, and you could get to it, but it's spread out. And like, oh, I need to get this. Okay, it's way down over there.
That's
I need to get that. It's way over here. And it would take you all day to do things. You get here,
So much for your weekends.
and everything, you're right, exactly. Everything you needed was kind of in a small space, and there was no traffic. And you could oh my God, yeah. But you could do everything in a small space.
Sure.
You didn't really need to leave Lexington.
That's right.
And you still don't need to leave Lexington. Occasionally you needed to go over the dam to get over to Harbison or something. I remember going over. Yeah, exactly. I remember going over to Kinko's.
Yeah.
Over there to do copies and things like that. Thank God for digital world today. I just don't need to do that very often anymore.
Right.
But still, the number of times I used to go over the dam, I probably went over the dam a couple times a week. Now I'm lucky if I go over a couple times a year.
Yeah. It's true. That's what I was saying about going back into Columbia. I don't go back into Columbia for anything. I mean, I'm
Except
over
you
there.
work there.
Yeah, I was about to say, of course, I'm over there because I work. So if there's something I've got to do, I'll take care of it then. But no, man, we don't go back into town to recreate anymore.
All right, so next on the list of questions,
Yeah.
you might want to ask every resident of this town, about the pizza. Where's your favorite pizza? All right, so, when a new person moves into town, Gamecocks or Tigers?
Dude, you're a horrible person.
All right, we're cutting that section out.
Oh, man.
Horrible person for asking this question.
Yeah.
I got that question like the first day I was here.
I know you did, but not me. You don't ask me that. I went to Carolina, so yeah, I got to be a Carolina fan first. But come on, man, Tigers are South Carolina team. When they're playing anybody else but Carolina, I'm pulling for the Clemson.
All right, so the other night was Final Four men's basketball.
Yeah.
Duke and Houston.
Duke.
Now, is that because of an ACC affiliation, or is that because it's another
Duke.
Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though they're
That's
vinegar
okay.
versus mustard.
Yep. You have that here in South Carolina. If you live in South Carolina and you say, I ask you what your favorite barbecue sauce is, and you say vinegar, you know what I'm going to say? No, this is true.
Do I have to cut this out?
No, I'm going to say, well, you're down along the coast, right? Because those guys, and you come on up here, we're mustard based, and you get on farther up, then they kind of blend the ketchup, and you get a lot more ketchup.
South Carolina coast is not mustard?
No.
Really?
Yeah. If somebody were to tell me their favorite is, and they've lived here all their life, they're on the coast somewhere.
I'm going to tell you Kansas City, Memphis, Chicago kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you get that if you go up toward Bishopville and stuff like that. There's a place up there. Is it Bishopville? I think it's
Bishopville's over toward Florence.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were thinking more upstate, like Greenville.
No, there's a place in Bishopville that I'm thinking of that has some great red sauce barbecue. It's just amazing. And then you come back over here. I mean, there's Bishopville, Florence, and you come over here to Lake City. And this dude over there, Scott's Barbecue.
Lake City, South Carolina.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's mustard based, but it's amazing. It's amazing. But
the reason I point that out is there's a Lake City in Florida.
Yep.
Which I have determined is the very baseline Southern. That stereotypical Southern.
Yeah.
So I used to live in South Florida. I used to go up to Louisville. I used to work in Louisville, so we drove back and forth a whole bunch of times. As you're going from Louisville down to Nashville and Chattanooga and Atlanta, Valdosta, Lake City, Florida.
Yeah.
That was the epitome of the Dixie South.
Absolutely it was, man. You're hitting them all right there.
As you came down that, it just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And you hit Lake City, Florida, and you're like, oh my. We have arrived. It's kind of like that through Gainesville on down to Ocala.
Absolutely.
Once you got past Ocala, you're getting toward Orlando, you quickly found yourself back in New York. South of Orlando, down to Fort Lauderdale, you're on Long Island.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing south about that. It's just South Long Island, maybe.
Exactly. This is, the Long Island Riviera.
Sure.
And then once you get past, about Hollywood, Florida, and you're about to enter Dade County, you're like, whoops, Cuba.
Absolutely.
When I first moved down there, it was funny. This was I moved down there in '87. And there was, would the last American to leave Miami please take the flag?
Pack it up tightly for me.
Yeah, that is a weird place down there. Whew.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so you didn't like the Clemson, South Carolina.
No, I'm a Carolina guy.
All right, so Saturday afternoon, I'm going to pretend like I have this list of questions. Saturday afternoon, where do we find Hop? Are you tailgating? Are you on the golf course? Are you
Well, the golf course, man, you know that.
boating on Lake Murray? Are you hiking in the mountains? Are you barbecuing in the backyard? Are you tailgating? I think it started with tailgating. Are
Hiking
you
in the
reading a book under a
mountains.
tree?
Sometimes, yeah.
Are you sitting patiently waiting for an owl to come along to take a picture?
Hey, one of my better owl pictures was taken down there at Virginia Hilton. I was walking down the trail there, and this thing swooped right in front of me. And then it stopped over there and looked at me, and it came swooping back over to even closer to me and just sat there right there. It's like, you're posing for me, aren't you? And he did, man. I was like this far away from here to that chair.
So
there.
you carry a camera with you?
I did.
This is the segue into the Hop Does Photography section.
I did that day because I was looking for something to take pictures of.
But
Which probably was a Saturday afternoon.
So you do a lot of photography.
Yeah, I tried to.
But is it mostly wildlife scenes?
Nature. Yeah.
Nature, weddings or
some.
nature?
Yeah.
Do you hire yourself
sort
out
of-
for weddings? Do people actually hire you for that? I think they do.
They do. It's kind of creepy though. It creeps me out because I have to please a couple of people. I have to please the bride's mother, her mother, and then I have to please the bride. The groom doesn't care.
He's like, really? Do I have to be in this picture?
Right. Yeah, I turned my first gig down. I mean, they begged me to do it. The grandmother, you have to take pictures at my daughter's wedding, my granddaughter's wedding. I'm like, no, don't do that kind of stuff. Don't do it. Don't. She kept asking, no, don't do it. And finally went, okay, I'll do this. Boy, did I not know what I was getting into. Man, I was shooting like the, what did they call it? That pre-dinner or
Rehearsal dinner?
rehearsal dinner the night before.
You'd think if they rehearsed it, they'd get it right.
Right? But man, so I'm shooting all night there, like from 6 to 1, and then the next day I'm shooting all day till like late at night out of the place.
Now, is this still back in the film days, or is this all digital?
No, this is digital still. This is the point I'm beginning to make about film and digital. Man, it took me several months to deliver a package of pictures because I took like 8,000 pictures, on a digital
Because
camera.
you can.
Yes, because I can. And when, I'm not bragging, but, a lot of them were good, but I had to cull them, and it was like, get it down to something reasonable, and man, that was a beast. What a learning experience. It was a lot of fun because they made it fun for me.
Well, so how many weddings do you typically do in a year, do you think? 2?
Yeah.
200?
No. 2. Yeah.
Do you have photography training, or is this something you just were innately gifted with?
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't realize that.
My dad always had a camera in his hand. Our basement was a dark room, believe it or not. And
Don't I recall that your dad was a funeral director?
no, that's wrong. My dad actually studied law at Alabama, but you ever see It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
So he goes off to school, or wants to, never gets a chance. But my dad did go off to school, but his dad had a pharmacy there in town.
Ah, pharmacy, not a funeral home. I got the F.
You got the F. You got the F.
Pharmacy with an F.
Yeah. So
Like
anyway.
the Southerners spell it.
Right.
Who put a PF or PH to PF? Who puts the PH together and calls that an F?
Who knows, man?
That's got to be a French thing.
Right. Oui, oui. But yeah, anyway, he
French with a PH.
and a D, PhD.
Piled high and deep.
That's right. But not only was my dad into it in a big way, so was my uncle. My uncle, you got to remember, I'm a oops kid, man. My parents were of the World War II generation. So my uncle Pinckney was a photographer during the war, and he used his photography to help convict the Nazis at Nuremberg, believe it or not. And when I was a kid growing up, you know, he'd use my dad's darkroom when he was in town a lot. And there are all these just crazy pictures of like Auschwitz and stuff like that. And I just grew up with them hanging around down there.
Nothing
They're
like,
negatives. Yeah.
let me see. Concentration camps in my basement.
Right.
It's the title of a new book coming out.
Hey, I like that. Concentration camps in my basement. Want to come over?
Yeah, but you mean, it's kind of a catchy title. You could write
Yeah,
that.
it is.
And you could actually legitimately,
Yeah,
potentially write that.
yeah, probably could. Oh, I could. That would be a great book. I've always said I should sit around and write a book of my childhood. But that was really wild.
Probably gives a different connotation. Here's
Exactly.
here's a book about my childhood, concentration camps in the basement.
But what it would say is, you know, that there's certain aspects of history that we just kind of gloss over because we're exposed to it all the time. And I did. Man, there were these piles of emaciated bodies. I do remember that vividly, you know, just streams of film hanging up down there. And I just kind of, yeah, this is what I'm exposed to all the time. So I didn't really take a whole lot of interest in it like I do now.
So the evil of humanity has been ingrained
in my...
You recognize that,
Yeah.
you know, when whoever it is that first said the line between good and evil runs through the middle of every man's heart.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, it does. And
Did I say
hopefully
that?
we move that this way or that way, and we get more good than we get the evil side. But
I do believe that if you don't know about it, you can't have that balance. You can't even find the balance. You don't know where it is.
it's hard to have compassion for somebody if you can't imagine the breadth of human
Suffering,
suffering.
misery,
right.
and just abject cruelty to each other. You know, I made this observation to Bridget the other day, you know, especially about this little kitten I brought home the other day. You know,
You have a new cat in the house?
I didn't tell you about that.
Oh, we are. Next 2 hours, we're good.
This cat is absolutely insane, man. He's insane. And
He's a cat.
fears nothing, though.
Well, he's got 9 lives, okay.
But
I don't mean to distract, but
dude, I was trying to shave this morning, and he's grabbing my razor and all this kind of stuff. The vacuum cleaner. Oh, my God, he
tell
loves
me
the
you
vacuum
don't just
cleaner.
find all of it just the cutest.
When I have time to find it that way. I have tossed it down the hall. But he's going, whee!
I can fly.
Right. But he
I
is
didn't know
the
I
best.
had wings.
But the observation I've made many times is how, you know, you take an animal out of its natural, I mean, a wild animal, take him out of there, bring him into your home because he's injured and he can't go back to the wild.
Are we talking about your childhood?
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, taken away from predators, they began to show affection and love, you know, because they're not afraid anymore. You're keeping them safe, and then they begin to show you all this.
Fear is a powerful motivator.
Damn right. Damn right it is.
See COVID, see almost
Anything.
any period in history.
That's right.
Anytime you can make somebody
Power.
look like the
Devil.
boogeyman, the devil, fear.
That's right.
Holy cow.
And my point was, like, you know, we're all animals. And we're all, yeah.
Anyway,
But
so we
anyway.
were talking about photography. We got sidetracked on a cat that came into your
Yeah.
home.
How did that get there?
I have the faintest clue. Your dad, your uncle, and your growing up
Oh,
with
the
dead
crap
bodies
going
piled
on
up in
in
the basement.
Auschwitz, man. That was, Yeah, I had all, and it took me forever to realize these were historical things. These would go in a museum. Right at this moment, I hate to say it, I'm not sure where they are.
So your uncle was there to take these pictures? Was he in the military and he was
Yeah,
deployed over there?
he was a U.S. Army photographer.
That was his
That's what
role
he
in the
did.
Army.
Yeah, there was still got this big, thick magazine somewhere. He's on the cover and stuff like that. You remember the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman?
Mm-hmm.
All those scenes done in Washington, he did. He did.
Really?
He was a documentary filmmaker, and he did that for the Bionic Woman.
How did he get into that?
Just a natural
Was he
extension.
Was he not still in Batesburg, or where was
Oh,
he
no,
that he kind of hooked up with this crowd?
he lived in Alexandria for a long time.
Okay.
Up there, so yeah, he knew the area really well.
So he was in the CIA. What you're trying to say?
But then he moved to Charleston, so he spent more time around here. So, but yeah, he was. I always thought that was interesting, but me doing the outdoor gig, I had a couple of photographer heroes. Ansel Adams. Do you know that name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of black and white stuff.
yeah, I mean, unbelievable. And people poo-poo anybody that plays with your photographs on the computer. Ain't BS. Dude, he is known as the dude that would go out on a photo shoot and then spend weeks in the darkroom making these pictures just perfect.
I had a client years ago down in Delray Beach, Florida. There's a photography art business school gallery right near Old School Square in Delray Beach. So if anybody's ever been to Delray and knows about this, it's in that neighborhood there. Blew my mind. This was 25 to 30 years ago.
A lot of black and white also, right?
And it was right at the beginning of digital. But this was almost all of this was film work that they were doing.
Yes.
And
still is.
The effects.
Still does that.
Oh my gosh, the effects that they could do, and I'm like, that's not digital. And they're like, no, that's print.
Yeah.
That's film. Like, how do you do that?
This dude's in his 80s and over. He's even had a stroke, but he still wades out in the swamp and gets these unbelievable pictures. Yeah, he's amazing. And then he's taught his kids to run the production side. So they've got this tremendous printer. I forget where they got it from, but he got it for a deal, and they're still using this thing.
Kodak couldn't figure out how to stay in the business. Right. It's like, how do you fail at photography?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but anyway.
I love Rochester, New York, but seriously, Kodak, how the hell did you mess that up?
Yeah, Kodak made a couple of Dad's favorite cameras. But
all right, so you found photography interesting, but you also love the outdoors. So you take your camera with you.
Ansel Adams and another guy named Galen Rowell, adventure photographer, man. He would take all these pictures doing the stuff I like to do. Except he could actually pause and hang on a rock like this and get a great shot like that, or whatever he's in. I've either got a paddle in my hand, both hands clinging to a rock, or on ice tools.
Yes,
no time
surviving.
Right, exactly, surviving. And I always thought, okay, when I get down, I'll start taking some cool pictures of where I am. But now I picked up a beer instead. But now that stuff's kind of taking a back seat, the cameras come forward again. So. I know. I like this idea of what they call fine art photography these days. And, oh, God, man.
Is all that digital, or is a lot of that film still?
No, for me, it's all digital. But I just really get a charge when somebody else wants to pay me some good money for a picture, It's just, man, that's fuel to go out and get another one,
Do people commission you for things like in advance?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I want you to get. So I had a friend that I used to work with, and her husband was an architectural photographer. And he would, this was down in South Florida, and he would get pictures of houses and things and, commercial real estate or something. And you'd look at this stuff and you'd be like, that doesn't even match the reality. I mean, you'd see the picture and it would be just this grand thing. The lighting was just
Perfect.
unbelievable. I mean, the whole thing would just, like, when does it ever look like that? When it's almost like unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then you'd go see the real thing and you're like, wow, how did you turn that into that? The result was just
mind-boggling. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here trying to take a picture of a full moon or
That's
something.
what I was getting ready to say, and then you go out there with a camera and click. The hell? That didn't even look like what I saw either. It looks worse.
Well, okay. Why is that? So, you go out with your cell phone. Years ago, my daughter had
these cell phones can do a grand job.
Well, they certainly can, and they're certainly giving people a lot of ability. But, no offense, folks, but I went out one night trying to get a picture of a full moon with my daughter when she was in middle school or something.
Right.
And it was, take a nice picture. I'm like, oh, look at this full moon. We'll get it over the top of this church over here with a steeple. This would be really nice. And you take the picture, and you get the little tiny little dot. You're like, no, it was huge. The moon was big. It looked so. No, it's a tiny little dot.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, so I just figured, all right, so cell phones don't work for that. Right. Now, last month, the middle of March, there was a blood moon. There was a lunar eclipse.
Right.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, mind you, because I went outside at 3 a.m.
And you sent a couple of pictures to me, remember?
I did. Yeah. With these video cameras.
I know. I thought that was outstanding.
Because, well, this is the best I have.
And surely I can get a good shot with these.
This is just a camcorder. This is not.
Yeah.
This is not an SLR camera.
Right. No,
and
they did great.
Even got that quality out of it.
Yeah.
Was, how much better can I get?
A bunch. Man, when I go out, I went down to Charleston again Saturday morning, and I took 8 lenses with me, for different things.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've got the big lens, and I'm going to reach out there and really grab something, and I'm all the way down to a 100 millimeter macro, so I can zoom in on an ant or whatever, and everything in between, from wide angle to whatever, because you're out there and you see the way I do it. Before I even go, I know the picture I'm wanting to get. So, I've got one picture of egrets that people love, and pay really good money for that picture. But it was that one day I actually had Bridget down there. She'll tell you about it. She was getting ticked because I was taking too long. You have to have the right light. And we got down there were no clouds. It was just rotten light, just bright, shiny light. And I knew where the birds were. I just kind of gave up on them. So we went walking around the rest of the property out there, and I was way away from where I needed to be for when these cool little shower clouds came through. And I said, that's it. I know I got it. I got to go. I ran across the property back to where the birds were and got these cool pictures. And they're in the best light in the world. So that was 5 years ago when I took that picture. And I guess it's been just about a month ago. I watched the weather, drove down there, got the same light. It was amazing.
So you can kind of predict.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. I kind of know what I want, so I have to time it and plan it for the light to be right. I'm looking for clouds. I like clouds, especially in a landscape. Clouds add something to it. You're shooting the sky and everything. But it really makes the light right, You see these guys on these big sets, and they've got these big screens, filtering the light. Man, just watch the weather, dude.
As predictable as the weather is.
Right, in South Carolina. You don't like it, wait an hour, it's going to change.
Well, you're not from Western New York. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes.
There you go.
That was always the thing there.
Yeah, well, it's 5 minutes here too, but
well,
they probably got it from up there.
Well, of course, because all the cool people from up there come down here to be with the really cool people. We've already tread that ground.
That's right.
What's interesting is that I was talking to a guy today, and we were talking about the rain, and because hey, we're supposed to get like a monsoon rain today or something. It really hasn't been. I mean, it's rained, but it's just been. Reminds me of the Rush song, "Limelight," I think it's called. Ooh, maybe that's why. Mm-hmm. And there's a line in there. It's a light spring rain, like an English rain. We've had an English rain all day today.
All day long.
But we've just been kind of on the eastern edge of it. It's just been kind of flowing. There's been this river of rain on the radar. You see kind of going up like this, and we're really on the edge of it.
Yep.
I talked to a guy on the other side of Lake Murray this morning, and he's not so much on the edge of it. His experience was different than ours.
Right.
But he was talking about just the experience of the just typical weather along Lake Murray and how much the lake actually impacts the climate. I mean, in a microclimate way.
Yeah. I
can't tell you how many times I've seen storms coming across on radar, and they get to here and they go, it's split.
And I've talked to several people about it because I really complain about it. I think the lake has something to do with the atmosphere around there that doesn't. That guy you're talking about there in Florida does those great pictures. He has a lot of big cloud pictures. I want that over Lake Murray, but you have to be like somewhere else to shoot over the lake because they are over here or they're never over the lake. And that's been a real frustration of mine to get some really cool pictures of big clouds like that. But
Well, Florida's got a lot of those.
Yeah. Yes,
Florida has a unique setup. You've got the swamp and you've got the ocean.
That's right.
And the ocean is a little bit cooler than the land, so you have this natural sea breeze that comes in. The swamp, on the other hand, is warmer than the rest of the land. So you got air that kind of flows this way, and you have these two air masses coming together, and they go up, and you get monstrous thunder clouds that show up there.
They're just the best.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Rain in South Florida is different than rain here.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. It doesn't have the same accent. Sounds like it's from Long Island.
Yeah.
But no, you get that, and you get these towering thunder clouds, and then they just drop everything.
Yeah.
And for 5 minutes, you get a downpour, and then it's done.
Sunshine again.
Sun comes out, and steam comes.
That's right.
If you didn't think it was humid enough,
it is now.
I talked to a guy at work today. He lives in San Diego, but he spent last week in Hawaii. I'm like, oh, that's it's kind of nice. I mean, it must be nice to go from San Diego to Hawaii.
Right.
So I said to him, I said, so how different was it? Because San Diego, you got cliffs and hillsides, and you've got ocean. I mean, how different can it really be?
Way different.
He had two things to say about it. Way more humid in Hawaii, and the food's better in San Diego. I'm like, really?
Oh my God, that is priceless.
That surprised me. But nonetheless, the humidity part, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how much difference a lot of that makes. Thunderstorms in Kentucky, I can attest, they're a different breed than they are here even. Those thunderstorms coming across the plains, coming across the Mississippi River.
Now, I've been out many times heading out west and gotten caught in these storms coming across Oklahoma. They're just scary,
It's like the orcs from, what is it, the Fellowship of the Ring.
That's exactly right.
They just
I can
march
see them
along.
like that. I forget what the big Air Force base is out there, but as you're going down, it's Highway 70 or something like that. Anyway, big storm coming out and just knocked all the power out, even on the Air Force Base. It's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. When the lightning would flash, you'd see all these black B-52s lined up along the runway out there, and you'd only see them when the lightning would flash. You go, oh, no, that's freaky, man. We need to leave.
Yes, evil is lined up over here, ready to be unleashed. I hope it's not today.
Not today.
Don't want to be in the jet wash.
I hope that's
behind
right. I hope the storm is why we don't have any electricity. It's great, though, man. We were out of gas and pulled up at this gas station, filled up with gas. Boom, lights went out. Sorry, I can't take your money, man. I got nothing.
I'm sure they keep you busy over there.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was crazy.
So, we got onto that from the checklist of the pizza.
Right.
What do you do on a Saturday?
Right.
Do you want to do more weddings? Or do you just, the love for nature photography is just worth it all? And
I do get more satisfaction. You shoot a wedding, you got a checklist.
You got people, though. I mean, you get to interact with
Yeah,
people.
but that's true. That's true.
People are.
But I don't like people.
Shit. All right, there goes Al's Down Under podcast. The whole point is to bring people together. My guest doesn't like people, folks.
Just kidding. No, it's just a different level of expectation, both for you and the people you're shooting for. You ever seen those big pictures I have hanging up in the in O'Hara's thing?
Are those yours?
That's 4x6 black and whites. I did those.
Are they for sale in there?
No.
Why not?
Because those were, you said it. I was
You were a hired gun.
Hired gun. But
Commissioned.
Commission, that's it. But
sin of commission.
right. So that's a little bit different. I'm going out there and I know what I need to get. I know what I want to get, and I think you'll like it, But man, you're shooting people, you have to be able to flatter everybody. And they might think it's a great shot, but you're sitting there going, oh my God, you really like that? Cool.
Well, but
I don't get the same side.
You should get Matt O'Hara to hang some stuff in there for sale.
Yeah. Brian has said that. I do have some stuff at M Gallery down the street, I think I get a lot more satisfaction from people saying, God, I've got to have this print,
I could imagine having something on the wall here.
It's coming, man. It's coming. If M Gallery...
I'm running out of space, where I can put something.
No,
maybe,
I keep looking at that. That space is made... This one print I have is made for that
Will
little
it be lit
space.
well enough?
We can fix that. But So when somebody calls and wants something, or just I just get giddy about that. It's that's real appreciation when somebody says looking through the stuff.
Beyond the it's in the family genes. Have you had any formal education in photography, or is all this trial and error, or just?
Well, Dad taught me a lot, film stuff, and I took a class in high school.
Lighting and various
Actually,
things.
I forgot this. I
have a whole degree in this.
All right.
Spent 6 years in college.
I forgot about that,
Still paying off the debt.
Really makes me want to shoot pictures just to pay it off. Yeah, and I think I did take a course at Midlands Tech, just to when I crossed that threshold from film to digital, I decided, let's go big or go home. So to really remind myself of everything I may have forgotten, I took a course over at Midlands Tech to get back into it. So it's a little formal training, Most of it's been trial and error,
So do you carry a camera with you pretty much all the time, just in case you encounter something, or is
I
this
absolutely do. I have
Well,
one
no.
here in my back pocket. I mean,
phone's on silent, right?
yeah. But dude, you just can't imagine the pictures I have on here. It just goes for years on this one camera. But no, I like I said, I kind of know what I want, and I plan it out. That's when I pack up the gear and go for it. Because if I'm going to go shoot this, and I'm going to try, well, maybe I won't get it today, but maybe I can get something else with some of the other lenses I have.
How much more do you see in the camera than you do with the naked eye?
A lot.
I mean, like the moon pictures I took last month. Certainly, I saw better in the camera than I could experience with the naked eye.
Well, all that comes down with planning your composition. Like especially architectural photographers are big into composition because, like you were saying a minute ago, I mean, a building doesn't look anything like this. But it's all about the angle and the lighting. So that's really fascinating stuff right there. The architectural photography. I don't feel like I'm any good at it, so I don't really do that much. But some I do, and some I like. I've got a nice black and white I did of the, oh God, what's the church ruins down there in Yemassee? Anyway,
Is that how you pronounce that?
Yemassee?
Sorry, I'm from the north.
Yemassee.
Drive by there and go, what?
Yeah. What's that? It's.
Are you supposed to pronounce the end of the T at the end of Beaufort?
Yeah.
Although some people pronounce it with a D at the end, Buford.
Well, there's Beaufort, South Carolina, and there's Beaufort, North Carolina. Do you know that?
No.
Spelled the same way. There's Beaufort up here, Beaufort down here.
Like beautiful versus beau. B-E-A-U. Like
Beau, hey, Beau, come on up here. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, I thought that was just
Beaufort.
B-O. No pun intended.
All right.
All right, so clean that up.
Yes, sir.
No commands. We have to go from the Gold Rush to the Debbie Don't.
That was tasty, man. I like that gold.
It is. It's got a nice little the sweet and sour thing with the lemon and the honey. This will be similar with lemon and maple syrup.
That's looking pretty sporty already.
With a dose of tequila and Italian Amaro, an Averna Amaro, which is a very dark thing, which is why this is as dark as it is.
What kind of tequila?
This is the Cantera Negra Reposado tequila, very nice. The Averna Amaro, which is kind of one of a kind. And maple syrup from Quebec, France. Listen
Quebec.
to me. Quebec, Canada. And lemon juice from Florida.
Yeah, that is tasty.
I've always liked this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Debbie Don't.
Yeah, well, how many
Which apparently
times
is
have I
named
had
after
this? Like
a
60 times.
Yeah. Apparently named after a ghost in a bar someplace. The ghost was named Debbie, and
Debbie, don't.
I have no idea.
Debbie, don't.
Not going there. So, all right, we did the pizza thing, we did the Saturday thing, we got onto the photography thing. Is there any hope for the people with cell phone cameras? I mean, those cameras getting good enough that you can actually take real good photography
it's just with a
predicated on being on a tripod or something?
Your creativity is limited by that iPhone. It's programmed to take a picture.
But you've
And a
got
pretty
pro
decent
mode,
picture.
don't you?
Huh?
You got like pro mode where you can.
Yeah. So no, you're still limited by your creativity. I don't know. I've really seen some good stuff come out of these.
I have. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, it's when you go to blow it up as big as that TV back there or bigger, then it's, yeah, that's the problem. You know, you're not going to get into fine art photography because you won't get the detail.
So what you're saying is this picture of Ruby Falls here, taken on my cell phone,
Would look good, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it represents where I was at that
Right.
time, and it helps me go, oh yeah,
Sure.
I remember being there. But
But is that, are you going to sell that? You possibly could. Really. Because how many people have ever even seen that?
well, that said, I mean that's not far off spectacular.
No,
I mean, the experience was something else,
yeah, I know. I can
considering
tell you
how
that's-
far underground I was.
Right.
The cool thing about that was you're walking along this whole underground pathway.
Yeah.
You're trying not to hit your head on the ceilings and stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you're in a cave. I mean, you are down there,
Right.
and you're under this mountain. And you know they got different things lit up here and there, and you know you stop and you see all the stalactites and the stalagmites, and you see the water flowing through here without really thinking about the fact that
You're 100 feet underground. or
and
more.
that water could just rise up and you're dead.
That's right.
But it looks
Here's
so
a life jacket.
right, but it looks so nice as it's flowing through over here, and you're walking over it,
Yeah.
and then you kind of walk into this space, and it's not well lit up, but it's you're not going to fall off something. You're not going to bump into people, but the lighting is the way it is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they turn the lights on. 'Cause you can hear the falls because there's water falling when the water's flowing, which apparently is not all the time. So
And then
you got to catch that. So you kind of hear it and you're like, oh, there's a waterfalls over here. And then they light it up and you're like, it's a spiritual experience.
yeah, I guarantee it.
I mean, I want to go back. I hope it's as good the next time I go there.
Probably
It's
be
the last time.
because you're expecting it. Yeah.
Well, now I want to get back there with a camera to kind
Sure.
of capture that really well, to be able to share that experience.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's not bad. I mean, you'd have to process it a little bit to see how good you could get it, but that's a great shot as it is.
So you can process that and improve it?
Mm-hmm. Want me to try?
Homie must learn.
Well, if you want to get into it, you have to have some kind of mechanism to process. I mean, nothing's really changed, you know, except you had a bunch of chemicals to deal with in the darkroom. Well, you don't have to do that anymore, you know. You can do all the same kind of stuff. Actually,
So what would you do with that? I mean, not that anybody can see this, but what would you do with that?
I always do several things. First, I'll go to sharpen it, see if I really need it. Just, you know, go back and forth with the little slider adjustment knobs and take some of the noise out.
Would you crop it in a different way?
No, I would not. That's perfect. That's a perfect crop right there, if you ask me. See, when I go out with my camera, I'll just shoot it in different ways, you know. That, to me, was probably the one I would have gone with out of 20 shots, you know. Or I might have gone a little bit wider, a little bit taller, but I don't think so. I wasn't there, so it's hard to say, but I think that's like probably the perfect
I mean, that was
crop.
the default portrait mode, you know,
Oh,
on the
really?
Samsung Galaxy S8.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah,
See what I'm
just
saying?
typical camera setting, just like take a picture. You know, not
Yeah,
any
see,
thought
I don't
really to
even
it at
do
all.
that on mine, man. I sit there and go into it and start cropping.
Right. Well, I mean,
and
it's
doing
got
all
pro
this kind of
mode. You can
stuff.
go in there.
Yeah.
I can muck with the shutter speed or the ISO. And I'm like, ISO, it's a digital camera.
Hey,
I'm not getting 800 ISO film or 200 ISO. And like,
Right.
what's the difference? And why would I want this here? And do I have time to even choose? Because it's not like this was going to be there for the next hour while I'm screwing around with picking
Exactly.
something. It's like, you got to take something soon. And maybe you want to get a video of it, which I also did. But
Good. I know that was awesome.
and it might have been, I might actually have the video of it coming on, of the light coming on. I think they might have said, yeah, we're going to turn the lights on here. And I think I might have gotten the video of that coming on. So, you know, it's a little bit of a kind of spectacular thing. But I had no idea. I wasn't planning for it. I was
See,
just,
now you can.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I was
But you
just
know what
kind of
also
stopping in
happens?
Chattanooga on my way back from Nashville. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'll go hiking around the mountains over here. And, oh, there's Ruby Falls over there. It'd be kind of cool to go down to this thing. It was by myself. And so, me and 30 of my newest best friends all hop in an elevator. We hope the 29 of us are going to make it back.
Wait, we've lost Fred. And Al.
Well, and I tell you, go to the bathroom first.
Really?
There is no potty stop along the way. Yeah, it's an adventure. So you get there and it's like all of a sudden if you're going to get a picture, you kind of got to be prepared.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of it. See, you went there, but you heard of Ruby Falls, right? Just hear me out.
It's one of those things that I didn't know what Ruby Falls was.
But you knew about it.
Well, I didn't. So let me put it this way. It's one of those you're driving down the interstate.
Sure.
And you just see this thing on the side of a barn.
That's a great shot.
Why it is that farmers were able to, monetize the side of their barn.
The rooftop. See, Rock City.
How many farmers are retired
on
Rock City advertising?
Man. Oh my gosh, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so you see Ruby Falls. I think I had a friend that had gone there, and I'm like, oh, he went there, and so I decided, well, I got.
But aren't you fortunate to have had your daggum camera in your pocket?
I think I was fortunate, not only that, but for the weather.
Yeah.
Because it had rained a couple days before that.
And you've got a waterfall.
And it turns out, that impacts the amount of water flowing through
sure it
and
does.
the whole experience overall.
What do you mean, rain really impacts water that comes over a waterfall?
Underground water.
Amazing. But that's the thing. Now you'll go back, a little more prepared. You'll think about how you want this stuff. As you become not that I really call myself a photographer. I take pictures, But you'll start thinking about that picture. What's going to make it great. What kind of settings are going to be good. What do I want? Maybe you can think about a different way to frame it. From maybe a different angle here, a different angle there. You start to plan things.
Can you teach this?
Yeah, a little bit.
You got 6 months. I'm going to Italy.
Yeah. Do your homework before you go. No kidding, man. There's going to be some places you're going to go. They're just going to be mind blowing. And
I've been before, and we're going to go to the Amalfi Coast, which is the picturesque.
Yeah.
You see pictures of Italy, the Mediterranean Sea, mountainsides, and you see these towns like.
So where are you
right
going
up
to be?
on there?
Where are you going to be? What do you want to show people? What time do you need to be there? Golden hours? A couple hours? Right there at sunrise and right there at sunset, the hour before sunset, an hour after sunrise. Best light in the world. So that's why they call them the golden hours. So you're going to get your most memorable shots in the golden hours. So you have to plan that, You're there in town, you go, oh man, what a cool shot. But the light's not right. Middle of the day is the worst time of day to shoot these classic shots, the shots that are really going to make people go, unless you've got something going on in the atmosphere. Like I said, I knew the light was going to be right. It was partly cloudy, mostly
the clouds
cloudy.
are just right.
Yeah, so I drove down to Charleston. I got those shots again after 5 freaking years. Couldn't believe it. I really pulled some shots and it looked like they were shot at the same time I was
So
down there.
do you pick up from existing photos? You look at what's there and you say, part of the reason that that's good is the clouds were just right. You see that in the other photo. Mm-hmm. Not that, okay, here's this tree with this bird there. It's like, yeah, but the thing that made this right was everything else around it.
Right.
Do you look at that and do you notice those things?
Absolutely have to. That's part of your composition. Yeah, just a few steps this way or a few steps that way mean all the difference in something that's really great and something that's just sort of great, But you put it all together, and it'll take you, if you start shooting stuff like me, it'll take you a while to, you go to these places and you get it. Like, if you go to Magnolia Gardens, they have the Audubon Swamp, which is a great rookery for herons and egrets and stuff like that. And there are these different trees they love to nest in and stuff like that. And you just kind of get a feel for it. And oh yeah, that's a cool nest over here. There's a tree over here. The heron likes it way in the top, And just show you some shots I got the other day of the heron and his big kids in the nest, right? Ugly. There's no doubt in my mind that birds came from dinosaurs. When you see these little herons, they're like, "Rah!"
I saw something flying over here the other night. Probably herons, now that I think about it. But maybe egrets. I don't know. Do we have egrets around here? I know egrets are very popular in Florida. Well, they're very common. Popular maybe not be the right word for it.
No, we have egrets in there.
How many bald eagles do we have around here?
See, the reason we bought the piece of property we have is because the property right behind it was bald eagle nesting territory.
Really?
So
right here off the Governor's Grant.
Right. And as long as the eagles are nesting there, you can't build there. And I think if they haven't been back within 5 years, then it's fair game. You can build on it. So, of course, they went away. But, man, we'd see them coming down the street. Amazing. Coming down the street between these tall pine trees on either side made them look otherworldly, like pterodactyls or something. They looked like they were going to scrape their wingtips on the trees coming out through there. But yeah, we have a pretty good eagle population now, especially you go along the coast. But they're...
Well, I know I've seen them in Hilton Head.
Oh yeah, all the time. What was that the other day?
They have a bunch of osprey down there too.
Oh, I love shooting osprey. Photographing osprey. Their talons. You think an eagle has some great talons, and they do, but man, an osprey just looks like he's just going to put them right through.
And they're strong.
Oh God, yeah. And these guys are sharp, man, and they're really trippy dudes. But
a friend of mine has a timeshare down there in Hilton Head.
Oh yeah.
And we were down there once, and from the balcony on their place, you could see over to this very large, very tall tree, and there was an osprey. I don't know if the nest was up there, but there was definitely a couple ospreys who were hanging out in that nest quite often. And they were, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's,
I'm
not worthy.
Yeah. So.
That's a photo.
That's a photo. At the perfect light I was telling you about.
You really can't see this.
But that's 2 egrets down there.
That looks like a painting. And even at that, it's like there's no way you could paint that. This does not look like a photograph.
And that's something else. Audubon, John James Audubon. I'm a real fan of his art. His paintings. I wanted to.
You took this photo.
I did.
I'm not one to be over the top with my praise. Ask my daughter. Dad, can you just say something nice? When I'm impressed, I will. Holy crap.
Thanks, man.
That's a photo.
Yeah. But that was the weekend I told you I was going to go down there, and 5 years later I get that light. So, since I've got it up, man, I'll show you that other one from 5 years ago. They have a 40 by 60 of this one hanging in the clubhouse at Governor's Grant. Matter of fact, this will be it if I can find it.
Out of the thousands of pictures you have on there. With an extra SD card so that you can support it all. And then if you lose that, do you have all this stuff backed up somewhere?
Oh, you know it, man. I've got like 3 huge
Backups of
external
backups.
external hard drives, huge ones.
Or as who is the guy? There's a country singer. He used to be married to Julia Roberts.
Yeah, yeah, Doug McGuire.
Yes, he has a band.
A big band.
It's not big. It's large.
That's right, his large band.
It's his large band.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm not sure where I can find it, but that's hanging in there. That's a 40 by 60.
Wow.
That was $1,000 they paid for that.
Dang.
So when somebody, like I said, when somebody wants to, that just looks good in there, I think.
Well, yeah, and so what was I thinking about? Movies.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking
There
about.
it is.
I think I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast with Peter Berg.
It's got some glare on it, but yeah.
That's just phenomenal. That is not photography. That's it can't be. I mean, it almost looks like. First of all, it looks like fine art, which I know photography is, but to be able to take a photo and transcend to that level where somebody goes, that looks like fine art, which it looks like somebody painstakingly, very fine graphite
Just
and
get a
paint
great
or
painting
whatever.
on it. Yeah.
Right.
I get it, man.
That's. But where I was going with this with Joe Rogan and the Peter Berg episode recently, they were talking about having a movie be able to grip you so much that you have this experience, this emotional experience.
Yes.
And I thought, initially I thought, well, we used to actually go out and do things that gave you the emotional experience.
Right.
But some of that comes from war.
Exactly.
And you really don't need to go out and fight a war just so you can have
that emotional
so that you can
experience.
understand what that is.
Yeah.
And there's something very visceral about being able to watch a movie in that case, to be able to understand, okay, it's one of the things, for example, about, what was the Vietnam movie back in the 80s?
Yeah. Have you come to kill me?
Yes.
I love the smell of napalm.
Well, not that one. That's 70s.
That's the same one.
No, that's a different one.
No,
I'm
it's
thinking,
the same one.
well, that one was, yes, but no, there's the 80s one.
The 80s one.
Anyway, I remember reading something about that where some of the veterans who had seen it said, you captured this really well.
Yeah.
Because from the moment you got there
sobbing.
to the moment you left, the sand never got out of my mouth. It was just always there. I wish I could do it justice to remember the name of the film. But we don't live in a world where you can go experience all of these things.
That's what I hope for. That's what I try for. I really, because most people don't even see that, you know? I mean, and I love wading birds. They're just, the egret is just, for me in the South, that is just exemplary of beauty and grace, because they move so smooth. And the great blue heron too. I love the great blues. I love the egrets, and they're just beautiful,
So you also dive. Do you do underwater photography at all?
A little bit, yeah. Not like I would like to, because that's talking another $10,000.
Light can be a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah, it's a hassle. No, I've got a couple of cameras that do pretty well. It's hard for me to take the cameras I have and do fine art photography underwater. But
well, it's hard to get a tripod while you're suspended.
But just the waterproof housing to go on my SLR, it's like $5,000. That's just the housing. Without the camera, it does nothing but sit there and collect dust.
That's only half of the top shelf.
But, so you understand. At least you can drink that.
It's
I
such a
just
problem.
really have to go diving with the $5,000 housing
And
for
if
my
you
camera.
happen to drop it,
Mm.
whoops, down to the depths.
And not only do I have a $5,000 housing, I got my $3,000 camera in there, So yeah, that's
So let's go into diving.
Mm.
Lake Murray.
Lake Murky. Yeah.
Lake Murky, okay. That answers another couple of questions. How's the diving in Lake Murray?
It's not bad. I mean, scuba diving is a whole different deal,
I mean, we just took a left turn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you have to enjoy being underwater for what it is, because I mean, there's some cool stuff to see in Lake Murray. Like there's this guy in town has a dive shop here in Lexington. If you didn't already know that, but he'll take his advanced class.
Okay, wait a minute. A dive shop here in Lexington.
Yeah, so you didn't even know.
No,
See,
I didn't.
No, and this is why I didn't go ahead and buy the dive shop I was at, because I believe there's only a certain portion of any population you're going to attract to do this stuff, right? Especially when you do what this guy does and you take them out on the double bridges out in Lake Murray. If you go down
What is the double
Wise
bridges?
Ferry Road, they used to cross the Saluda River down there over the brand new bridge. They submerged a brand new bridge down
How
there.
old was it?
As old as the lake.
Well, no. How old was the bridge when they submerged it?
It was brand new. So however old the lake is, I'm telling you, it was brand spanking new. But anyway,
We put the ferryman out of business, and then we just flooded the whole thing.
yeah, then you flooded the whole thing. But you can dive down there, and this is the closest thing you can, if you want to ever feel what it's like working on the International Space Station in a spacesuit outside. That's the way to do it. You go there. It's dark. It's dark as space. There's no light except the light you carry, and then you see
How deep
all
is
this.
that? How far underwater is that?
I think it's like 100 feet just to the top of the arch, and another 30 feet to the deck, and another 20 feet to where the riverbed was. So it's getting deep. It's deep, but it's dark mainly because of
Because you're 100 feet underwater.
Yeah, but you can dive some deep water. That actually off the coast of North Carolina, there's old German U-boat down there. It's at 120 feet, and it's clear. It is clear. Sun shines down there. It's great. But in the rivers, the things that make our coastal waters kind of cloudy and murky, you don't think you want to go dive in it. It's because the rivers are taking all this
Sediment.
sediment loads out there and dumping it, and it hangs around. But that's part of why it's so dark down there. But that dive to that bridge can be either the best thing you can imagine or the worst. It could be a nightmare for some people.
Is it a nightmare because it's dark, or is it a nightmare because it's treacherous?
It's freaking dark, yeah, and it's kind of treacherous. For recreational diving, 100 feet's about your limit. You go over that, and you really got to be watching your P's and Q's, or you got to be using these gas blends that are out of the realm of recreational diving. So it's
How hard is it to actually get to your destination there? GPS maybe.
Yeah. To do the bridge, you have to have the coordinates, which I have in that phone right here. You just, tie up and you're gone. Yeah, you drop down. But so, in that, I used to take a lot of classes out to the dam, and get them trained up. But then we go to Lake Jocassee because it's clear up there. But it is cold.
I was about to say mountain spring fed or just mountain drainage fed.
Right.
Hasn't had time to get all murky and everything yet.
No, but it's fun. I like diving in Lake Jocassee. It's really cool. See these cool fish. But yeah, and you can dive 100 feet or more, and you're just still clear. It's starting to get dark, like fresh water's going to. But it's a lot of fun. But actually, some of the coolest diving there is right off Charleston. You just have to get out of the influence of the rivers that are coming in, which is usually about 45 minutes out on a boat ride. But man, the fish just come around you, and they're just hanging out with you as you drop down. And there are these wrecks out there that have coral all over them. I've heard tell that if you go down deep enough, out far enough, then you're just in unbelievable coral out there. I haven't been there, but I've got pictures of me just like I'm in the Caribbean, right off South Carolina. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Right, so best whitewater, best lake diving.
Best whitewater. It's all good whitewater. Best
In South
lake
Carolina.
diving.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much whitewater is there? Whitewater rafting or kayaking or whatever in South Carolina?
Oh, that's good. The only rafting we have is really on the Chattooga, and that's one of the prettiest rivers on the planet. You just have to go one day and just go down Section 3 or Section 4. Section 3 is just long and beautiful, and lots of good rapids, and then it ends with a really big one called Bull Sluice, which kind of gives you a taste for what lies in the next section, Section 4, because it's full of it. Another reason I love my wife so much is because,
Let me count the ways.
all right, let me count the ways. One, she's kind of a tomboy, believe it or not, but she decided she's going to hang with me. She needs to learn how to kayak, right? Lo and behold, she is paddling Section 3 with me, no problem. Decided now it's time for you to take a step. Let's go down Section 4. She never paddled again. But it's all so beautiful. But then there are these other rivers that flow in from places way steeper, way cooler. A lot of water in there, but you just can't get rafts down them. But you can get a kayak down them. And that's one thing I love about South Carolina, is why I live where I do. If I need the coast, a couple hours that way. If I need the mountains, I'm a couple hours that way. No big deal. And what's cool about Columbia is they have one of the best whitewater rivers right here in town.
Well, I was going to ask about that. Is the whitewater here? It's certainly not Rocky Mountain whitewater. I don't think.
Not
anyway.
in steepness, but it certainly gave me the skills I needed to run the Grand Canyon without being out of my mind. Because when they can let 20,000 cubic feet of water per second down that riverbed, and then when
The Colorado River you're talking about, or here?
Here on the Saluda, 20,000 feet, just opening the generators, right? But if you open those, what they do when they have the big storms coming through, I guess it was Florence that came through and they opened it up. It was Florence. So they had the generators going, which is 20,000 CFS. And then they had all of the floodgates open. And the floodgates right behind the zoo, I'm one of the few people who have done that. Not right behind the zoo, right behind the dam. You can see it as you drive across the bridge, all rocky and stuff. Wow, is that a rush and a half? But I mean, that's great whitewater all the way from the dam. Pretty much the best run is from 26 to Gervais Street. You get a lot of whitewater in there, a lot of fun stuff to play in. But man, when they crank it up, the rapids there at the zoo get huge. Matter of fact, of all the places I paddled, that's the only place I thought I was going to die. There is a big hole. It's well known. You get these little hole. You're saying, what's a hole? What happens when water flows over an obstruction? This tends to fall back on itself, and boaters call that a hole. It can either be the best fun in the world or your worst freaking nightmare. So there's several of them as you're coming down Mill Race Rapids. Is what they're called back there. And I like to play in that one, I like to play on that one. I like to stay out of that one, right? So one day it kicks me out this way and right into that big hole down there. And I'm on a high brace. I'm upright, but I'm still underwater. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting out. I'm like, well, didn't expect it to end today, but I guess this is it. So I just kind of relaxed, and man, it just rocketed me out of there. And bam, I mean, right, cleared the water. I mean, and I landed in the eddy right down below this hole without my helmet. And I took my helmet off. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Had to paddle down because I left my car at Gervais Street without my helmet on, which, you know, you got to play.
That does explain a couple of things. Plays nice with others? No.
No. But
takes necessary safety precautions? No. That's all right.
I'm telling you, if you ever want to go,
well, I was going to ask you about
like
Congaree, because we were down there about a month ago or so and walked the King Snake Trail, which starts and ends there at the, I guess it's the the kayak canoe. What do you call it? Ramp.
Yeah.
And there were certainly tours that were taken off from there, and we're like, it'd be interesting to do once at least anyway, because
right.
I mean it'd be a fascinating view. I mean, how does that compare, let's say, to something else? Is it worth going out to the Congaree and taking the tour down there? Is it worth going, hey, let me get my friend Hop and let's go down there and do that? Or
totally cool. Yeah, it's beautiful down there. I mean, you're amongst this real old growth forest, as old as it gets here in South Carolina. You know, in the days of old cotton, we didn't have any trees. We cut down all the trees down here, you know, to grow cotton, you know. And, of course, build Lake Marion, you know, jeepers. They cut huge trees down. But, yeah, it's beautiful down there. It's pretty. It's really pretty. Really nice place to go.
But you're not going to run into rapids and that kind of thing down there.
Nope. No rapid.
That's south of the
there's
Congaree.
black water and there's white water. Ain't no rapids in black water.
Okay.
But
yeah, we'll have to do that sometime, because I know when we were down there, we were like, this would be very cool.
Yeah. Especially if you fall out. Really cool.
Okay. I don't know, the people I was with, they weren't too thrilled about the little, what was that, an orange neck snake of some kind? Red belly snake, orange belly snake?
Yeah.
I think I'm onto something here about the name of it.
A red-bellied water snake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like a moccasin, but he's really cool.
From the top.
Yeah. He's really cool. Doesn't bother you.
No, it was funny because one person that I was with, apparently somebody had said to her at some point, you know, many years ago, and something she took to heart: don't step over a log. Step on the log and, you know, jump past it.
Right.
And I'm like, why?
Why? And then you find out.
So we go past the log, and we're just a little bit past it, and all of a sudden my wife behind us starts freaking out.
Oh my gosh.
I was in the front of the group at the time. So it took me a second to realize what was going on, because I don't know what makes my wife freak out, I guess.
Oh.
It didn't take too awful long for me to go, oh, snake. So I turned around and went back, and, you know, I'm going to get between the snake and my wife here. I'm going to protect from the non-venomous snake over here.
The great non-venomous snake.
But, you know, it's just rustling through the leaves, and, you know, got under the log and kind of chilled out there. And our friend was like, that's why I don't step over logs. Notice where that snake is. We jump, you know, we step on the log.
And look around, and then we step. Yeah.
Right. So I said something about, I'm like, well, are you going to recognize this log on the way back? Because King Snake Trail is an out and back. And this was on the out portion.
Yeah, of course it was. I don't know whether I'm going all the way out there.
Yeah, and you're like, one log laying down here, one tree down looks the same as the next tree that's down.
Yeah.
I was assured, no, we will recognize this coming back. And he was still there when we jumped over the log on the way back.
And I'll tell you, I have actually seen a person run on water.
Well, it's kind of like, have you ever seen a cat walk on water?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've seen Bridget do it. Again, on the Chattooga. She had to go, and she got down behind these rocks. There's a whole bunch of little water snakes in there, man. She just came flying. I swear she ran like 20 yards on the water.
You're like, man, I didn't know that you were that much of a ballerina. Just right across the top of the water. As fleet of foot as you ever saw. Yeah.
It's still hilarious to think about that.
Yeah, it was funny because we went back to that. I turned around and I'm like, there's a snake.
Well, he was just still hanging there when he came back.
Well, but on the way down, when we first encountered him, I'm like, okay, snakes from 4 or 5 feet away, they're not gonna come after you.
Nah.
I mean, they're not that.
They're not gonna come after you.
Right. They're not angry. You're right. Exactly. It's not like an alligator.
You're way big. They're not gonna eat you. You're not a meal.
Right. If you step right in front of them and they're like, they want get away from you. But if you're already 4 or 5 feet away, you can take a look at them. So I'm looking at him, checking him out or whatever, and I'm hearing get away from him, getting all this stuff in the background here, telling me I should. It's like, hey, he's all right. He'll be be fine.
He's cool.
And I honestly did not expect on the way back that he'd still be there.
Right.
Didn't expect that they would even recognize the. Then we came upon this one log across, and I was like, is this one? Nope, it's not that one. We come up to the next one, they're like, yeah.
I think this is it.
This is it right here. And I'm like, really? I walk up to it, and I'm standing there. Sure enough, there he is. Still there.
He's just hanging, man.
His head's up, he's checking things out. I'm like, yeah, look at that. Yeah, so there was a big detour that went around that. But
That's what he was hoping for. Yeah, they check things out. They don't have to. They know flight or fright,
All right, Mr. Hop. Here's to Lexington.
Yeah.
And all it has to offer.
Like owls down there.